Tottenham fans. It's finished Bodo Glimpt 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2, and Tottenham have stolen a point against Bodo in the Champions League. And when I say stolen, I'm being very generous because Bodo Glimpt were much the better side for most of this game. Their passing was quick, it was sharp, it was fast, it was pinpoint. The movement was excellent. Their pressing play was great. Their tackling was spot on. They worked as a team and they were first to every single ball. They looked way more up for it. You could tell that they were used to the weather, the pitch, everything. Everything that they did today was absolutely excellent, and Spurs couldn't keep up with a side that passes really fast like that. And don't get me wrong, Spurs fought all the way in this game. They fought all the way to the end, and that's how they got the point, because they never gave up. They showed resilience the whole way through. We had a goal disallowed as well. We hit the woodwork a couple of times, so it weren't like we didn't get our chances ourselves, but Bodo Glimt had chance after chance. They should have been 2-0 up at half time. They missed a penalty as well, by the way, in the first half. That's the worst penalty I've probably ever seen in my life. That was crazy. That probably went in somebody's bedroom window or something. But they were much better side in the first half. Much better side for, I'd say, 30 minutes of the second half. They were a better side as well. Spurs were very, very lucky. There's so many frustrating things I want to talk about today, and one of them was there was a passage of play in the first half, and Spence got the ball and he was looking up to play it through, and as he was looking up, and I looked along the line and I saw Richarlison standing still in an offside position, so Spence then had to double back and play it out wide instead. He was standing still in an offside position. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's not Richarlison's fault, he doesn't get the service. He doesn't move for the service. His movement is so poor. Like, if you watch, I'm not comparing him to these players, but if you watch a Haaland play, he's always moving across the line somewhere. He always wants the ball played through to him. Richarlison just stands still and waits for the ball to feet all the time. He never makes that movement. Like, I played striker for many years in my lifetime, and I made the decision for the midfielder. I made him want to pass to me because I'd put myself into space and demand the ball. Richarlison stands still in an offside position. That's so frustrating. And another thing I want to talk about is the lackluster performance Bentancur put in today. It was lackluster, and that's being polite as well. He constantly gave the ball away. He was jogging around. I didn't see him sprint once. I think I countered it today because a lot of people on Twitter were saying all he does is pass the ball backwards. And I was watching him closely today, and he passed the ball backwards for the first 20 minutes. It took him 21 minutes to pass the ball forwards. It is insane. And then, like, going back on Richarlison, he had 4 touches in the first half, by the way. 4 touches. Diabolical performance from them too. I forgot as well that Brennan Johnson was playing. I think he did 1 slide tackle to win the ball back. That's the only positive I can say he did in that whole game. He did absolutely nothing. When we were defending, I thought we were defending okay in the first half. But what the problem was is every time it went forward, it came back because the forward players could not keep hold of the ball. It was no coincidence in the second half when you bring on Xavi and Kudos and Palhinha how we kept the ball better and it stayed up front longer and it wasn't coming back as quick as it was before. And when it was, we won the ball back quicker. It was very frustrating to watch and pretty concerning that we are putting in performances like this nearly every single week. Like when we played against West Ham and I'd say Brighton second half and Man City for the whole game, they were good performances. So it's not all season, but just lately, it just seems like, I don't know. Is it because we're playing twice a week and I don't know. There's no excuses really. I can't think of an excuse. I'm not accepting when people say we're playing on a plastic pitch as an excuse. No, not at all. You're professional footballers, and anybody like me that's played football for many years, I had to change services. I played on on a Saturday on the grass and on a Sunday on AstroTurf. Didn't change my game whatsoever. So just changed my boots. That's all I ever did. So that's no excuse whatsoever. The positives I would take out of it, I suppose, is Bentancur scored. Even though he did all that, he scored. I think Richarlison scored as well, but I think that was an own goal. And plus it ricocheted off him. It was nothing he did good. He was just in the right place at the right time, I suppose, for once. The positives, we never gave up. The last 15 minutes we were a lot better when we seemed to wake up after we went 2-0 down. As soon as we went 2-0 down, it seemed like a bit of urgency came into our game. It's not good enough to go 2-0 down before you start playing. Now, that is massively frustrating. Vicario again, when he got the ball played to him, for their second goal, he just swung his left foot at it, put our defender under pressure. It came back at us straight away and they scored. By the way, the two goals that Bodo Glimpt scored were two brilliant finishes from Howe or something his name is. Two brilliant finishes from him. And Bodo Glimpt deserve a lot of praise. A lot of praise. They were absolutely brilliant today. Made us look very average and very poor. The lineup, I suppose people were moaning about the lineup when they first came up. And I have an issue with people moaning about the lineup because last season, all I ever heard was, why are you not rotating your team? Ange is causing all the injuries. Why does he not rotate players? And when a manager comes in and he rotates players, why... Everyone was like, why is Xavi Simons not playing? Why is Kudos not playing? Why is Paulinho not playing? Because they need rest. And I'm not being funny. And I ain't. And this is no disrespect to Bodo Glimpt. But it's going to be a tougher game against Leeds on Saturday than it would have been tonight. Well, I thought that before tonight, but it was a very, very tough game it turned out to be. But I'm going to say it now. When are you going to rest these players if you can't rest them against Bodo Glimpt? When are you going to rest them? Because you're playing against Leeds on Saturday, 4 days from now? You can't play them every single game, every single week, because if you do, they'll get injured, and then what would the narrative then be? You're overplaying the players. That's what we'll get. So please, stop moaning about lineups. The lineup we brought out today was good enough to beat Bodo Glimpt. Their players just did not turn up. They did not play to their full ability, and they were not on it today. They honestly weren't. They were second to everything. They were carved open time and time again for some brilliant football from Bodo Glimpt. We couldn't handle the fast pressing play that they were doing. We couldn't handle it. If we're playing teams that are passing fast like that and we can't handle it, we're going to have some huge problems against certain teams this season. So all in all, Spurs have stolen a point against Bodo Glimpt. It's stolen it, honestly. And I'm not trying to talk negative to be one of those negative Nellies. This is an instant match reaction, so there will be some emotion into it. So because I've been shouting at the telly for the last 90 minutes about how many times we gave the ball away. We put ourselves in problems. Like, Bodo Glimpt played brilliantly. I'm not taking nothing away from them. But they wouldn't have played as well if we didn't keep giving them the ball. We kept passing it to them. We kept giving them the ball and putting pressure on ourselves. And inevitably, they were going to score goals. And they did. You cannot sit as deep as we did. We sat so deep in the first 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, we were playing in the first 20 minutes like we were 1-0 up and holding a lead and there's 5 minutes left. It is not right. Something's not clicking yet. There's no creativity going forward until we bring the creative players on. I understand we've got Maddison missing, Kulu missing, Solanke. Solanke would have made a big difference today as well, in my opinion. People that were saying that Richarlison should be our number 1, number 9, please, no. Solanke is levels above Richarlison. And you could see the difference from last time we played Bodo to this time. When Solanke was leading the line, look how much better it was. I can't wait for him and Moani to come back to fitness, because Richarlison is so frustrating and everything just comes back at us. Odegaard the same. He gets on the ball, steps over a few times, loses it, and puts us under pressure again. Johnson, literally, can't remember him doing anything. Honestly, put in the comments if you remember Johnson doing anything today. I can't remember him actually contributing anything. And I'm not trying to be nasty, and I'm not trying to pick on players. I'm just trying to remember stuff, because it's literally an instant match reaction. But at the end of the day, like, it was awful from everybody, near enough. Like, most people were awful. I think Danso can hold his head up high. I think Danso was pretty decent. Van der Ven was pretty decent at the back. Polo didn't do much wrong, to be fair. Nor did Spence. I think the defence-wise, not too bad. They were let down really by the midfield and the strikers, well, the front three, because there was everything was compact. Did you notice a difference when Kudus was on and he was getting the ball and holding on to it, and the ball was sticking to him? He was causing them problems, problem after problem. He was winning more corners when he was on, and same with Xavi. He was moving the ball faster, and that's what we needed. And then people would say, why didn't they start the game then? Because they need rest. That's all that is. So at the end of the day, Spurs got a point that they didn't deserve, but they got a point. So another positive is we're undefeated in the last 6 games in all competitions now. We've found a way to get a point. We've got 4 points in the Champions League. We haven't lost in the Champions League yet, and we've only lost 1 in 9 this season. So there are positives to take. We can, go into the next game thinking, we'll believe that we can't be beaten, because we've got that mentality now. Even we've been 2-0 down twice this season and come back. So even when we're losing, I still think we can get back into it, which is a good thing. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's game. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.